This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world so you can become a rock star too.
So what's it like to exit your business, to sell it? What's it like when you say goodbye to your baby and move on? Is it painful? Is it easy to sell something that's been part of your life? Ken Rakowski, Business Rockstars, KFWB News Talk 980. So Tom Nix created a very successful business, ended selling it for about $45 million, and then he turned around and wrote a book. It's called Nixland. Great title. Let's see, My Wild Ride in the Inner City of a check cashing industry.
Correct.
Tom, I like that. Nixland. You sold your business for $45 million. Did it feel like a baby leaving the house?
Well, not initially. Our strategy was to team up with an institution, which we did, Connecticut Federal Credit Union. Used to be the old Hughes Aircraft Credit Union.
Sure.
And our mission was to add to our services by bringing full banking services back to the community in Nix check cashing locations. So it was the culmination of really a mission that we'd been on for a number of years. It was a highlight. I worked there 2 years, and when I left the company, now that was very difficult for me.
Okay, let me make sure I understand. When you sold the company, it wasn't like a kid going away to college and becoming an empty nester. It was when you left the company, it felt empty.
Yes, because when we sold the company, I still had my team. I was president of the division. We were on a mission to change America and change the way financial services are delivered to low and moderate income communities all across this country.
Is it broken right now?
It's broken.
It's broken in what way?
Well, in the sense that we have not been able to achieve the kind of traction that we'd hoped to, and so the way you change marketplaces is by being successful, because then everyone else copies you.
Right, of course.
And we haven't really made the model as successful as we needed to be. And I'm not part of it and haven't been part of the Nix check cashing. It's now called Nix Financial.
It's still got your name on it. It's kind of nice.
Still got my name on it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I miss my people. We had a fabulous team. I had 450 employees. They were like family. And so when I was able to bring my family into the fold of Connecticut Federal Credit Union, it was a fantastic day. Plus, we got a $45 million check.
Yeah, I kind of like that $45 million check. But let's step back real quick. You're telling me that when you left is when you felt empty. A lot of people, when they sell a business, when they sell it, it's almost like they don't want to leave because they want to still be part of that energy. But there is a point in time when you have to leave, right?
Well, that's typically the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, typically a company buys another company, and the owner and the key management works there a couple of years, and then they're out of the picture. I didn't think it was going to be like that for me.
What did you think?
I thought I was going to be there for a long time, working with my team side by side, and doing great things, serving the community, providing our strategy of providing fast, friendly, courteous service at a fair and reasonable price.
I mean, you got it all down. That's exactly what they probably want to do. But I bet you after a point in time they go, you know what? That's the old regime. We're the new regime. It's time for you to go.
Well, that's exactly right. We were the old guard. We were out, they were in, and so that hurt.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
what
like that.
But other people,
and I miss my people. I still miss them.
So how do you help people deal with that when they go through that? How did you do it? Did you use the book as a tool to kind of deal with it, the process of saying goodbye?
Well, no, the book was really a result of years. I owned the business for 42 years.
Okay, I mean, that's a long
time. That's a long time. And through this period, I had many situations where I just said, my God, this could be a book. And someday when I retire, I'm going to write one. The other thing is I wanted my employees to know the inside story, and I wanted to share, and this is probably the most important thing that drove me to really write this book. I wanted to share the lessons learned. The lessons I learned in a 42-year small business career, I wanted to share that, not only for business people, but for anybody who's interested in self-improvement. And I went through a complete transition as a person. I grew up in San Pedro as a lowrider kid.
Oh, you're right here. You're a local guy.
I'm a local guy.
Yeah. So you wrote this book, Nixland, which is all about the 42 years of you being there, or is it more about how to build a business? Are you creating a how-to book, or are you creating more of a story of what happened?
It's a story about what happened.
Okay.
But in that story, and I think the best way to teach people things is to tell them a story. And that's what I've done in this book. And I said, and this is what I learned from this situation. And, people can say that's for me or not for me, but at least they're exposed to, a way to go about business and a way to go about life. And I have a whole chapter on there in terms of what happened to me in terms of growing as an individual.
You are somebody that understands this financial environment, the financial services, financial business, the banking industry. You said earlier that it's broken. Has it been fixed? Is anyone taking a good stab at it to making the financial industry better?
Well, I'm really speaking about the low income and moderate income communities. There, the dilemma is banks can't make money the traditional way. Mm-hmm. And our model, which was a fabulous model, combined, the check cashing business, which is a fee-driven business, with the traditional business model. So we had a low-cost delivery system, and we felt that we could then, using this combination of approaches, a one-stop shop where somebody can come into a Nix location and vote with their feet, pick the financial service that best worked for them. Alternative financial service through check cashing or traditional banking services through Connecta. That was our mission, and we felt that we'd be very successful and that, the industry, both the banking industry and the check cashing industry would copy us. Well, that hasn't happened. So what's left is we have very few banks in the inner city across this nation, and we have a lot of alternative financial service companies filling very important needs, but they don't fill all the needs because what happens is people move up the financial ladder.
But if you look at outside the United States, okay, and I'm going to use Kenya, for example, most of the banking system is done over a mobile device, okay? I'm just wondering, I know you say, but that's Kenya. But don't you think maybe as technology evolves and people start becoming more technically influenced, there might be a new form of banking using tools like mobile devices?
There may very well be. But at this point in time, there is a huge percentage of our population, they like the cash and carry approach. And for them to go to that kind of a banking system, that's far off. I mean, it may be reality someday, but it's not reality now. And keep in mind that part of the problem in banking is if you're living paycheck to paycheck, mm-hmm. you can't wait a few days for your check to clear.
No, you can't. You're right. You need the money right away.
You need the money right away.
And that's where the difference is. I'm going to pay a higher fee to get more accessibility to the money.
And really, that's what creates the financial spectrum for people. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, you need your cash now. You pay your bills with money orders. You like the cash and carry approach. But as you begin to progress in your own career and you start making more money, now you need banking. Now you do have savings. Now you do have other alternatives. Banking doesn't work well for people that are living paycheck to paycheck, and check cashing doesn't work well for people that have a more sufficient income coming in.
So Nixland is the book that, where can someone get the book?
Well, the best place to get it is on my website. It's called nixland.net. N as in November. Nixland, nixland.net. It's also available on Amazon, and you can order it in any bookstore. It's not on the bookstore shelves, but you can go into
you can get it there at Amazon. How long did it take you to write the book?
It took me a year and a half.
Year and a half. You got another one in mind?
No.
Okay. But you have a new business.
Well, I have a new business. My new business is selling this book.
Which is a business.
It's a business, Nixland LLC. And I'm doing speaking engagements.
Okay.
And, my passion for 42 years, and one of the secrets to our success is we felt it was very important to invest in our people. So we trained our people not only how to do the business end of our business, but also how to grow as individuals. So I spent a whole lifetime of training people. And what we found is when you invest in people, they invest back in the organization. So I'm still doing that.
Tom,
that's the point.
What's what I want to do with you, okay? I want to use your wisdom and knowledge to teach others how to start a business from scratch. You know exactly what it takes. Generally, when you start a business, you go through 4 phases: starting the business, funding a business, growing a business, and selling a business. You've done all 4 of them, okay?
Right.
Funding a business is something everyone's really interested in. How do I get money? Where are the money opportunities? Let's go through the process of starting a business, okay? Let's focus on that funding side, and then let's focus on the exit side. I'm going to make you the professor, Okay? Professor, I like this, Professor Nix. He's going to come in, he's going to teach the class on the process of starting, funding, growing, and selling a business, all within 9 minutes. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but that's what we're going to do. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
Professor is coming into class. Everybody sit down, get ready. It's all around starting a business. Just to let you know, our professor sold his last business for $45 million. That's all you need to know, okay? He's going to teach you how to start, fund.
And enroll free in Wellness 65 Plus at Rite Aid today. With us, it's personal. Certain limitations apply. See your Rite Aid store or RiteAid.com for details.
This is Business Rockstars, where we introduce you to the rock stars of the business world, so you can become a rock star too.
So we're going to start a business from a seasoned veteran in business. Somebody sold his last business for 45, 46, give it a few $1 million here and there. Very successful. Did it for 42 years with one business, but growing that to how many locations, Tom?
60 locations, 450 employees. We serve 400,000 customer transactions per month.
Per month. You know the stats. That's Tom Nix. I'm Ken Rakowski, Business Rockstars, KFWB News Talk 980. Nixland is his book, My Wild Ride in the Inner City Check Cashing Industry. The book's available on Amazon, or go to nixland.net, right?
Right.
.net. You get the book there. So I asked, by the way, you look like, I think his name's McAvoy. Have you ever seen Newsroom on HBO? That's who you look like in your book right there. That's a good photo.
Thanks.
Let's talk about starting a business, okay? Let's start a business today, right now. So think about the way things are. And I know you're very happy with the financial service world, but if we could start something right now, would there be a certain industry you would go into that gets you excited, or would you stay within the financial industry?
Well, I've been retired for 4 years, and now I'm an author and speaker, and I have not been focused on that. So I really don't feel comfortable answering that question.
So let me pick one then.
But let me just say this. Before anyone goes into business,
okay,
they need to make sure the foundation's right. And the foundation comes from making sure whatever they're going to do, it's going to fill a need. So the foundation of any successful business is to find a need and fill it. And we used to say in our company, you can make the best damn gasoline in the world. You're not going to sell much if everyone's driving electric cars.
Valid point.
So you can make the best product you can have the best team, but if you're not filling a need, you're not going to be successful or very successful. And I think the other thing is you got to be passionate about whatever you do, and you got to keep that positive mental attitude.
But if you and I go off and we find a need, and let's just say it is a new type of fuel. Let's just say it is a new type of fuel. And it could go in any gas-powered car, and we're able to make it for $1 a gallon and sell it for $2 a gallon, undercut everybody 50%. And we're not really excited about it, but we could see making a ton of money. Can making a ton of money satisfy the passion we don't have?
Well, I think you need the passion to make a ton of money. And I think that the reality of small business or starting a business, I mean, if you have a ton of money already and you're starting a business, that's one thing. You got a team, you
could
delegate,
buy right?
You take a certain amount of your money, you start a business. If you lose it, so what? But if you're the typical small business guy, you're up to you're up to your throat in risk. You're risking everything to start this business and make it successful. And to overcome the kind of fear that comes along with that, you need to have a positive mental attitude. You need to be passionate. You need to be brave. You need to have the attitude that you're never going to quit no matter how bad you get your butt kicked. You're going to be in there swinging because this is your deal. And if you're not able to muster up that kind of commitment to go into business, you're probably not going to make it.
Tom, you're a passionate guy.
I'm pretty passionate.
So whatever you get involved with or in, you put your passion into it. Like your book right now is where your passion is.
Yes.
Right? Your book, it's got a life cycle. You'll probably do this for, let's say, for a year. You're going to want to do something else because you are an entrepreneur down to the core. You cannot not do something, right? How do you find that next passion to focus your energy into?
Well, I mean, that's a great question. And that's really the dilemma that guys that do sell their business face. What's next for you now? I mean, I spent 42 years, four plus decades doing something and that I was proud of. It was my hobby. It was my favorite thing to do.
That's 4 California marriages.
That's right.
I mean, think about that. You're on your 5th wife.
I'd like to point out I've been married to my wife 47 years.
There you go. You're a rarity, obviously. But I understand what you're saying because you're in a different phase of life. And a lot of guys go through this, that are over 50 and they have to now decide what's next and reinvent themselves.
So so the point is I don't have the answer to the direct question, which is what would you do next? I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know if whatever I end up doing, it's going to have to get my juices going. Mm-hmm. I'm not just going to tinker around. It's like this book. I woke up every morning 7 days a week at 5 a.m. and wrote for 2 or 2.5 hours 7 days a week to get this project done.
So at least you could give us the construct of the perfect startup business. What things do you have to have besides the passion and the need that you're filling? What else makes a successful startup?
Well, you're going to have to have financing.
Okay.
So I mean, typically with a small business, you're going to have some savings. You're going to have to hawk your house, get some dough off your house.
There's your risk.
There's your risk. You're putting everything into it. Not only that, if you get a bank loan, which you might be able to do, or even an SBA loan, you're going to co-sign that with everything you own. Mm-hmm. So when you go into a business, you're going in lock, stock, and barrel.
Did you have to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Were you at a point to where you're kind of shaking, signing your name, thinking, I can't believe I'm doing this, or were you just committed, you're not even looking back?
Well, I didn't have any problem in the beginning because I knew damn well I was going to be successful.
But every entrepreneur thinks that way.
I know, but here's the point. Along the way, there were numerous times that we were on the brink of financial disaster, and I was totally fear-stricken. I mean, one of the things we did to raise capital is we set up private limited partnerships. And I went out to all of my friends and family and neighbors and business contacts and anybody I met, and I said, come down, see my business. And I sold them on my vision and my passion and our direction of our company and the future. I raised $4.6 million privately without a broker in 4 years, expanded the chain to 19 stores, and I brought in 110 investors. So here's the problem. Now I got partners.
You got 110 investors.
And we're almost on the brink of failure. I don't want to have to go to these people, especially my brother-in-law, Alan Harvey, who would always ask me, how's the business going at every family function? I don't want to go to him and say, I lost your money.
Of course not.
It's bad enough to lose your own money and wonder what you're going to do to feed your kids next week when you got to find a job after all. It's even worse when you have to go to everybody you know and say, I did my best, but I lost your money. So that comes along with the territory of bringing in outside investors.
Did that make you work even harder, having all that responsibility on your shoulders?
Yeah, I couldn't have worked any harder, But it created a tremendous amount of fear. I'll tell you that.
Tom Nix is joining us. Tom's book is called Nixland. What I love about you, Tom, we have a lot of .com guys come in here, high-tech guys, and they've gone the venture capital route, right? They took their businesses in 3 to 5 years and sold it for 20x, and they're still around 29, right? I think you are exactly what everyone says. Wait a second. I understand that. Took 42 years to build a business, sold the business, did financially well with the business, and now is at that next phase in life. People could associate with you. They can't associate with that 29-year-old who's got the same amount of money and it took him a few years to make. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I really admire that you're here, and I love your story.
Thank you.
It's real. It really is. The book, these stories inside here are inspirational for anyone then, even if they're not in the financial banking world.
This is, first of all, it's a terrific story.
I know, but every dad says their kids are cute. Okay?
I know, but let me tell you a little bit about this book. Not only is it chock full of lessons learned that will help anybody, whether they're in business or not in business. We had some incredible experiences. For example, we went through the 1992 Rodney King riots. It's in the book. We had an opportunity at the request of the city to come to the aid of the city and open up in the middle of the riot. We couldn't do it without the help of President Bush, and Governor Wilson at the time. Our employees stepped up.
Well, let's do this. People can get the book, and we'll talk about the book. Before we do this, we have a segment we got to get ready for that you're going to be part of, okay?
All right.
I'm going to throw you into another world right now. We create a business every Monday. The listeners have come up with a business. You ready for this?
Okay.
It's a pill that you take that fills your stomach up so you're not hungry and you get the nutrients. We have crowdsourced the name. The name is Nutrafil. Okay? The audience have created the tagline, Slim Yourself with Nutrafil. Today we have to figure out who the celebrity is that's going to be the front-facing celebrity for Nutrafil. Listeners are going to help us out with this. Okay? 855-ROCKSTAR. That's our number. 855-ROCKSTAR. 855 is a toll-free number. Rockstar is our number. 855-ROCKSTAR. That's 762-5782. Who is the celebrity that will be the front face to endorse Nutrafil? And Tom's going to help judge this. 855-ROCKSTAR. Come on, give us a call. 855-762-5782. The Rockstar.